Namaste, and welcome to day 2 of Navaratri, and I'll be sharing with you this broad chapter 3 from the Devi Mahatmya, and then our 1 o'clock broadcast, chapter 4. Let's go ahead with the opening puja. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Satyabhyanta Sushi Om Bakratunda Makaya Suryakoti Samabrahma Nirvignam Kuramudeva Sabakaryam Siddhe Jaganesha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guru Namah. Jai Guru. Om Trayambakam Yajamae Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Orvadukameva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. Devi Prapanote Hare Prasida Matara Jagata Kilasya Prasida Bishve Svada Pe Vishvam Tvamishora Devi Chachara Charasya Jima Devi. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Shama Shivadatri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jaya Bhuti Taharani Jaya Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Om 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 Jema. Chandipat, Devi Mahatmya, also known as the Durga Saptasati, Chapter 3, Meditation. The radiant body of the Mother of the Universe has the magnificence of 1,000 rising suns. She is draped in a sari of red silk. Around her neck is a garland of red skulls. Her 2 breasts have been colored with red sandal paste, and her 4 lotus-like hands hold a rosary that shows the mudras of knowledge, fearlessness, and granting boons. Her 3 eyes are shining, and her bud-like mouth is extremely beautiful. Upon her head sits a crown of jewels in which the moon is situated, and she is resting upon a lotus seat with unlimited devotion. I bow to this goddess, Jema. By the way, knowledge, fearlessness, granting boons. Om, the Rishi said, when the great thoughts, that is, the demons, thus saw their forces being destroyed, that heroic general, the demon devoid of clear understanding, in great anger proceeded to battle with the mother of the universe. That thought demon rained upon the goddess a cloud of arrows, of various doubts, as plentiful as the waters that fall from a cloud upon Mount Meru. Then the goddess fired such a multitude of arrows that cut his arrows to pieces, and also killed his horses and his charioteer. With this, she also cut his bow, and his exceedingly high banner. After cutting his bow, she pierced his body with her arrows. Losing that bow, ran after the goddess. With a sharp edge of his sword, he struck the lion on the head, and with great speed he gave a blow to the goddess on her left arm. Then that sword touched her body. It broke into pieces, and that angry thought demon of many considerations took a pike in his hands. And that great thought threw that glaring pike at the excellent one beyond time, just as the sun fills the heavens with dazzling luster. When the goddess saw the pike coming at her, she too let loose her pike, which split this weapon into numerous pieces, and the demon, devoid of clear understanding, gave up his life. After the death of that valiant general, the army of the great ego, Mahisasura, devoid of clear understanding, who had been the source of affliction to many gods, the demon Fickleness approached, mounted upon an elephant. He attacked the goddess from above with his energy, but the mother of the universe, with the shout of her mantra, Hum, wounded him, and deprived of light, the energy fell to earth. When he found that his energy was broken, Fickleness became intensely angry. Now he threw his pike at her, but the goddess cut it with her arrows. In all of this, the lion of the goddess jumped upon the head of the elephant and began an intensive battle with that thought demon. These two fought, and the elephant fell to the ground. Then they rose in excessive rage and began to fight, again with fierce blows. Thereafter, the great speed of the lion leapt into the atmosphere, and falling from the sky, severed the head of Fickleness from his body. The demon Haughtiness was slain by the goddess with stones and trees in that battlefield, and striking with his paws and biting with his teeth, the lion brought down the demon Disbelief. Striking angrily with her club, the goddess reduced the demon Arrogance to powder. The demon Memories was cut by the sword, and the demon Anxiety and Blindness by her arrows. The demon Violet Temper and Passion and the demon Great Deceiver too were slain by the three-eyed seer of all. The demon Hypocrisy's head was cut by her sword, and Irresistible Temptation and the demon Foulmouth were both sent to the kingdom of death by her arrows. Seeing his army thus being destroyed, Mahisasura, the buffalo demon, the great ego, assumed the form of a buffalo, and he himself began to terrify the troops of the goddess. Sometimes he fought with his snout, sometimes kicking with his hooves in the air, sometimes hitting with his tail, sometimes whirling and while ripping with his horns. With great speed and a great war cry, his breath puffing in exertion, he scattered the troops over the ground. Having laid low the troops of her army, that thought demon advanced to kill the lion of the goddess. Then the mother of the universe became very angry. That great evil one, the great ego, also became very angry. He kicked the earth with his hooves and raised large mountains with his horns and threw them aside as he roared. With the great speed of this thought, the earth split in fear. His tail lashed the sea of desire, causing the waters to flood the earth. Tossing about his horns, he dashed and split the clouds to pieces and cast up the violent speed of his breath. Winds, mountains fell from the sky. And waging battle with his great anger, the great thought advanced toward her, while she who tears apart thought assumed anger and prepared to slay him. Throwing her net, she bound that great thought demon. After being bound in that great encounter, he left his form as a buffalo, and therefore he manifested in the form of a lion. In this condition, the mother of the universe was prepared to cut off his head, but somehow he changed his form again to that of a man, bearing a sword. Then the goddess instantly rained upon him a shower of arrows, and with sword and shield she was ready to pierce him, but he took the form of the king of elephants. With his trunk he began to pull the huge lion of the goddess and to roar, but as he was pulling, she cut the trunk with her sword. Then that great thought again wore the body of a buffalo, and in that manner as before, with the inhalation and exhalation of his breath, she shook the three worlds with all that moves and moves not. In great rage, the mother of the perceivable world, she who tears apart thought, again and again drank an excellent spirit, and with red eyes began to laugh. There in the strength and boldness of wild ecstasy, that evil demon roared, and with his horns threw mountains at she who tears apart thought. She began to pulverize those mountains with her arrows of speech. Speaking in the ecstasy of spirit, her mouth became red and her tongue was stuttering. And the goddess said, "Roar and roar, you fool. For as long as I drink this spirit, roar as much as you like. Your death is in my hands, and when I have finished drinking soon, the gods will be roaring." And the rishi said, thus speaking, the goddess leapt and ascended above that great thought, pressing down upon him and holding him with her foot. She struck him in the throat with her pike. The great ego Mahishasura, again hit by the foot of the goddess, changed his form from his mouth, but able to free only half of his body, and her great strength, the goddess restrained that as well. Even with half of his body coming out, the great thought waged battle with the goddess. Then the goddess cut off his head with a great double-edged sword. Shrieking and crying and the remaining thought demons of that army ran away, and all the gods became exceedingly joyous. In great satisfaction, the gods joined the great seers in hymns of praise to the goddess, while the celestial chorus of nymphs sang and danced with joy. Om. So this chapter was the slaying of the buffalo demon, Mahishasura. This is a Nepali figure of Durga, and we see her numerous weapons, which are the powers of all the gods. One foot is upon her lion, and this is the part in the story where here's Mahishasura, and she is striking him with her pike, in this case, a trident. And then something else I'll show you. This is an antique temple carving from South India. And this is the victorious goddess Durga. Her asana, her sitting position, is one of victory. And we see under her foot the head of the buffalo demon Mahishasura. So at this point, I invite you to close your eyes, open your breath, breathe deeply, and let the words of the Sanskrit mantras take your consciousness where it needs to be at this moment. Just breathe, listen, and just be aware of whatever comes into your realm of awareness. Trityo Daya Dhyanam Om Udyadbano Sasara Kantim Aro Kaksaumam Siramam Alikam Rakta Lipta Payoyod Dharam Japavantim Vidyamahabitim Varam Hasta Vyada Dayatim Trinitra Vilasad Vaktrara Vindastriyam Devim Badahimam Suratna Mukutam Vande Ravenda Daschitam Om Risiravacha Nihanyam Manam Tatsainam Avalokya Mahishasura Sena Nichiksura Kopadayo Yodhumatamambikam Sadidim Sadavarsanya Vavasa Samaresura Yatya Merugri Snungam Toyavarsana Toyeda Tasya Chitva Tato Devi Lila Yavasaro Karanan Yakan Turagan Banyer Taratam Tata Yantaram Chaiva Vajanam Chitadada Dana Sadyo Tvajam Chatisa Mucharitam Vivyada Chaiva Gatraso Chinahadan Vanama Suga Sachina Davna Viratao Hatsvo Hatta Sarati Abhadyad Vatotam Divim Kadgachama Darosura Sima Mahatmya Kadgenat Tiksnadharana Murdani Agagana Buje Sade Divi Mapyate Vijavan Tasya Kadgo Bujam Parapya Papala Nipandana Tato Jagraha Sulamsa Kopadaruna Lochana Shiksepa Chatatas Tatu Badra Kalyam Mahasura Shivalan Madam Tejabira mivimba mivambarat drustva tata patachulam devi sulama munchata tachulam satdatena nitam sacha mahashura hatte tasmin mahavirye mahaisya kamupatu ajangama gajarudas chamarastri dasardana sopi shaktim momachata devyastam ambika drutam humkara briyatam umaupatya yamasya nisprabam Bhagnam Shaktim Nipatitam Dristva Kroda Samanvita Shiksapa Chamara Sulam Baidastapi Sachinat Tata Sima Samputaya Gaja Kumbantare Shita Bando Yodena Yoyode Tenoch Shastrai dasarnya yudhya manau tatastautu tasman nagan mahim gatu yoyadate tisamra badau maharirar tidaruna tato vejat kamutapatya Nipatya cha mogarana mahaparana siras chamarisya patak kritam udagrascharane devya sila vriksha dimpirata dantamusti tailaschara karalascha nipatita Devi Kruda Gadaspatyes Shurya Masya Shodatam Bakalam Bindipalina Banayastamram Tatayan Hakam Gursyam Gudaviryam Tas Tatavachasam Mahanam Trinatra cha Trishula Jagana Parameshvari Bidalasya Sina Kayat Patya Masya Vaishira Durdaram Durmikam Kobo Sirya Nirye Yamaksayam Evam Mahasi Yamanetu Svayane Mahisashura Mahisana Svarupana Traisama Masyatanganan Kamschitunda Praharana Korak Sapayas Tataparan Langulata Ditam Skanyan Kringabayam cha Vedartan Vijana Kamachidparan Nadana Brahmanan Nacha Nihisvapavaneyan Neyanyan Patayamansa Bhutale Nipatya Pramadanikam Adya Hadvata Sosara Simam Hantim Mahadevya Kopam Chare Tato Ambika Sopi Kopan Mahavirya Kuraksuna Mahitala Sprigabhyam Parvadhan Nucham Siksipa Chanandana cha Mana Vrikshuna Mahitasya Varya Siryata Langulena Hataskabini Plavayamasya Sarvita Duta Snorga Vibanathja Kadgam Yayor Gana Svasalanta Satyo Nipatur Sabaso Kala Iti Kroda Samantama Patamatam Mahasuram Dristvasa Chandika Kopam Tadvanahaya Tadakarot Sakishipva Tasyavai Pasam Tam Badara Mahasuram Taisya Mahisam Rupam Sopi Pado Mahamridi Tata Simho Bavad Sado Yavat Tasyambika Sira Chinati Tavat Purasa Kadga Panira Drisyata Tatavasu Purasam Devi Chitida Sakyakai Tam Kadga Karmana Saradam Tataso Bunmahagaya Karanacha Mahasimham Tam Chakrasa Jagarajacha Kara Karsato Haram Devi Kadgana Nira Krintata Tato Masoro Buyo Maisam Vapurastita Tativak Shobayamasya Trilokyam Saracharam Tata Kruda Jaganamata Chandika Panamutapam Papupuna Punachava Jasastruna Lochana Nanada Chasora Sopi Balavriya Modataha Vanabhyam Chakripsepa Zipa Chandikam Prape Pati Budharan Sachatan Pahitametstena Chunayanti Sarotkritaya Uvachitam Tvatam Madodata Mukha Raga Kulaksaram Devi Uvacha Garja Gaja Kanamuda Madhuvayat Pibamayam Mai Tvai Hate Traiva Garjis Yanyaso Devita Risiravacha Eva Muktva Samputaya Sa Rudhatam Mahasuram Padena Kramaya Kante Chasulana Tata Sopi Pada Krantas Taya Nija Muktatata Arda Niskratana Evase Devya Virana Samvrita Ardhan Niskratana Evasau Yudhai Mano Mahasura Tayamasina Devya Sira Sitva Nipatita Tato Haha Kritam Sarvam Dayata Sayam Nansya Tat Pranhasam Chaparam Jagmu Sakala Devata Gana Tristu Vastam Sora Divim Saha Dever Mahasibi Jagyor Gandava Patyo Nantruchap Sarogana. Om. I invite you to continue in meditation as I chant the Navaratri mantra. Om Aing Rim Klim Chamundai Viche. 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 become one with the energies of the mantra and verses. And may they help in clearing and transforming your own inner demons. May they give healing. May they give balance. May they give understanding and direction. I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center and take a deep and clearing breath. Slowly open your eyes, keeping the gaze soft. Namaste. Om Sana Vavatu, Sana Bunaktu, Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidvijavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha, Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Devi, Jai Ma Kali, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Ma. A couple more comments on the pretty much next door in Boulder County, and the smoke has gotten to us a little bit. But toward the end, when Ma Durga slays the buffalo demon, he morphs into different forms. So from a buffalo to a lion, to an elephant, to a human, back to a buffalo. I'm actually at a part where the head of the buffalo's off and he's up to his waist from the neck. And this has been seen as symbolic of something that can happen when we're trying to change some kind of a behavior pattern, where we're focused just on the symptom, let's say a fear of something or a particular habit. And so you work on just that behavior, eradicating that behavior, but not looking into the cause of it. And you may get rid of that original behavior, but then that energy manifests in another way, in a different symptom. So, so the value of meditation and working on direct causes. Coming back to this figure of Ma Durga as a slayer of the buffalo demon, her title in this kind of illustration is Mahishasura Mardini, the slayer of the buffalo demon. Jaya Jaya He Mahishasura Mardini, Ramya Kapardini, Shaila Sute, Jai Ma Durga. Jai Ma. So we're coming on 12:40. Any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to email me at my YouTube channel. In fact, somebody did that just yesterday and I was able to help them out. Please tune in about 20 minutes and we will do the puja, satsang, and meditation for chapter 4. And chapter 4 is the gods rejoicing over the death and defeat of Mahisashura and his armies. So, see you in a few minutes. Namaste. Jai Ma.